Well, if Donald Trump was not a war criminal before today, he sure is now. For those of you who haven't heard, Donald Trump made an announcement earlier today that he had ordered a U.S. military vessel to fire on a civilian ship in international waters with no proof of any wrongdoing or wrong intent whatsoever. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are like, wait, they must have known. They had to have known. There's no way they could have known. The only way they possibly could have known is if perhaps the CIA and the DOD were involved in loading the ship. This little go-fast boat with, they say 11 people on board, but it doesn't look like 11 people. It's got some somewhat nondescript packages in it. Could very well be drugs. But that is not what the U.S. military is for. We could have easily interdicted the ship, got the evidence, arrested the people, seized the boat, and made an example of them. But firing a missile? Folks, there is something very, very wrong with this man. I think one of two things is true. He's either lost his mind or he is gravely ill with very little time left, and he thinks he has nothing left to lose. Or some combination of the two. But make no mistake, the U.S. military has never before fired a missile at a little boat like this out in the middle of nowhere with no proof whatsoever what was on it, who was on it, or where they were going. And people are just sitting silent. Now, those of you, real quick, as always, I want to say thank you. Always lead with gratitude. Those of you who've joined us at Patreon, God bless all of you. I very much appreciate it. A day or two ago, we posted the unit commanders, brigade commanders joint briefing. About a 17-minute video. Brigade commanders, stand fast. We're going to get your video up here as soon as possible. Things are moving very, very quickly, and I always want to make sure you guys at the top level have the most cutting-edge information. Now, the joint briefing that we just posted is good enough. Believe me, there's something going on here in the United States that if people look at it emotionally, they'll agree with the mainstream media. But if they stop and take a breath and think about it for a minute, they'll completely oppose the mainstream media. But right now, from what I'm seeing, everybody's on the side of the mainstream media, so nobody's thinking. There's a lot of people out there who are assessing their emotions about things and then believe that that makes good representation of thought, when it doesn't. If you'd like to join us over there, 4 levels, 2, 5, 10, and 15 a month. All fully refundable, first 90 days, no questions asked. Get a discount if you sign up for an entire year. Love to have you over there. Could sure as heck use the support these days, but let's get right back to it. I get that Tren de Aragua is a transnational criminal organization. Nobody's debating that. There's no way there was some big sticker on the side of this boat that said Tren de Aragua on it. Unless DOD, CIA, or some other U.S. intelligence agency has infiltrated and were part of this operation, there's no way you could have known. And even then, that's not what the military is for. Let me ask you a question. If there was somebody running illegal moonshine through the mountains of Appalachia, just as illegal, would you be okay with the U.S. Army using anti-tank weapons to take out their cars? Somebody had one of those old cars they used to take the headlights off of and they'd soup them up. Would you be okay with the U.S. military say, oh, look at that dark car running through the night of the Appalachian Mountains? They must be running moonshine. We should fire on them and destroy it and destroy the vehicle, destroy the evidence, and kill everybody on board. Would you be okay with that? Of course not. It's the same thing. And besides, if you want to talk about transnational criminal organizations, look no further. Look no further. Anybody who's gone to buy groceries lately, or gas lately, or understands anything about how finance is run and what money's all about, would know that the biggest transnational criminal organizations are in charge of the United States right now. Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, Shell, BP, Big Oil, all of the big corporations that control our lives on a daily basis. Aragua, small potatoes. Teeny tiny small potatoes. But boy, it sure makes for great headlines, doesn't it? Now, believe it or not, the Venezuelans are pulling out Chinese-made anti-ship missiles for the next time. And look, it doesn't matter if you're in a destroyer or not. These missiles will take out. They absolutely will take out the ships we have down there. And it's my personal belief that Venezuela only has to ask. And the Chinese will send support. The Chinese will send help. As will the Russians. Do you really think a shooting war in the Caribbean is what happened to Mr. No More Wars? I'm gonna stop wars. I'm gonna use tariffs. I'm gonna threaten, countries with, if you go to war or you two fight each other, I'm gonna tariff both of your countries and end the war and all this kind of stuff. One little boat out in the middle of the Caribbean Sea. Nobody knows what's on it. Nobody knows who's on it. And we use military firepower to sink it. We don't dispatch a Coast Guard gunner. We've got them tracked. We know exactly where they are. We can put ships right in front of them. Seize the people. Seize the evidence. Destroy the ship. Seize the ship. Job done. I don't get how there's not more outrage. I truly don't. I know there's people who are laughing about the Venezuelan Navy. Hey, they don't have a whole lot to use. They've got a lot to lose. Pardon me. They got a couple patrol ships. They've got, a cutter. They don't need to waste a whole lot of money. They don't need to waste a whole lot of money. Let's get to, and we're also going to be putting boots on the ground in Chicago. You see, anybody could have done this. And what this is really about is due process. This particular president doesn't believe in due process. He doesn't believe in the Constitution. Due process means no one shall be deprived of life, liberty. No one, not just U.S. citizens, no one shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. This is not optional. I know a lot of people think, that's the Constitution. It only applies to... It applied to every single person getting off the boat from Europe. When Europeans were coming here from England and France and Spain and all over, the minute they got here, these protections applied. They didn't apply just to people who were born here. That's why it says no one and no person. Before we bring down the power of the state to remove anybody's rights or life, we raise up the protection of the law. It extends to everyone, no matter who you are, or whatever people think of you, or whatever you may or may not have done. Everybody gets due process. I don't know what is so controversial about this. Breaking, President Trump just released the video of the U.S. military striking a drug boat, allegedly a drug boat from Venezuela, heading to America, allegedly, carrying 11 Aragua narco-terrorists, allegedly, who were killed in the strike. The strike occurred while the terrorists were at sea in international waters. Why not wait till they get into U.S. waters? What if Bush had done this? What if Obama had done this? What if Clinton had done this? Remember when they went in down to Waco and burned all those people out in Waco? Where's all the people who are outraged about that type of thing, government doing that? Anybody else says no search warrants are needed for federal agents. Anybody else says this, and the guy would be impeached already. The guy would be up on charges already. What the heck happened to this country? What the heck happened to the Patriot movement? That they're now cheering and applauding for anonymous federal thugs under the guise of immigration enforcement, under the guise of that, rounding up random Americans, random people, jailing them, detaining them, cuffing them, putting them out on the sidewalk, searching without warrants. And nobody is calling for this guy to be deposed. Nobody's calling for it. It's truly unbelievable. I mean, it's just, if I had made a video saying this was going to be the case 5 years ago, 7 years ago, people would have said I was crazy. People said, oh no, that's the left that's going to do that. That's going to be Obama doing that. Congratulations. Congratulations on using destroyers, $2 billion U.S. destroyers, firing missiles to take out a 25-foot boat with 4 outboard engines on it? Do you know how much those missiles cost? I mean, talk about ridiculous. So, I will leave it there, but believe me, much better information. Patreon, love to have you over there. I know it's tough for everybody, but we all stick together. I can keep this channel going, and we can have a forum to talk about this kind of stuff. Channels like mine are becoming fewer and far between. And it's not just about the information, it's about the forum. It's about the place to be able to sit and have that conversation. So, God bless. Pray for each other. Pray for me, I'll pray for you. Lift each other up. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.